So, that's interesting. They brought a VIP into this area? I wonder if that's the chairman.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight.
Wow. Even Sanjar? That's cool. These guys are fucking having a conversation about the chairman being imprisoned here. He's a fugitive? How is he fugitive? And also, what is a sentinel and why are they just now dead? I wanted to fight something called a sentinel. That sounded cool. All right, peace out, guys.
Really doing this, huh?
Yes, we are.
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
I mean, we've gotten through pretty fine. All things considered.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me.
Oh.
Your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
Okay, so the chairman isn't a prisoner. He's just here because of our prisoner. Got you. Look, doomed? Phineas and I are saving the colony.
That crackpot's plan is ludicrous. We have steps, action items, budgets, and reports. All he's got is a guilty conscience and lofty dreams. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Well, that is so rude, okay? Whoa now, there's no call for hostility.
No call for... You unbelievable bastard. Sophia should be the one wasting her time with you, but you killed her.
Yeah.
I'll have you hanged, quartered, bankrupted. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
Alright, well, look. I'm going in there. Felony, I made a terrible mistake. Please don't arrest me.
Is that sarcasm? Do you know what I do to people who employ the lowest, most base form of humor? I fire them. Alas, as you are woefully unemployed, I'll have to do the next best thing and have you killed.
You can try.
In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
That sounds exciting, actually. I mean, I'm down for fighting a giant robot. Look, I'm sure we can talk about this, Rockwell. Let's work something out.
Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic 2 words?
I mean, you can if it makes you feel any better. All right. Well, I'm on my way. Prepare your head for bashing. Let's see how much confidence he has once I kill his standard-ass looking mech. All right, so just gonna huff some gas, maybe see if there's anything else I could use for my attributes. I already have a headshot thing on right now. Let's see. Companion cooldown abilities? Why not? Armor rating plus 10? Sure. Let's get some caffeine in us as well. All right. Howdy. No. No. And then we knock it over. Oh! It's got a weak spot on its back. I'm pretty amused by this. I think I'm just gonna keep stun locking it as much as possible. That might not be as much of an option as I thought. Uh-oh. He's got reinforcements! Ooh! Ooh! Oh no! Oh god! Alright, maybe I should have focused on the weaklings first. might have made some mistakes there, but that's okay. We can actually, we can rectify this. So here's what I think the problem was. Usually when you're fighting some bosses and then they send a wave of tiny guys, you're supposed to deal with the tiny guys. But I just kept on shooting the boss, and I think it spawned multiple waves of fucking mechs, because that was a lot of robots.
Gosh, that's clever.
Anyways, 94? I bet I could just turn off that robot if I had leveled up my hacking at all. Or if I'd brought any of the right people for this. Oh well. Oh, you know what? Oh, we don't have a workbench here. Damn it, I was like, we could probably slap on some shock weapons. That'd make our people do much more. Actually, does this do anything? It does! Wow. I'll do my part. I will kill the small fries first, so we don't just get murdered. Holy shit! It just boosts itself past the wall. Also, hey, wow, look! We can dodge the projectiles. Uh-oh. My companions are dead. You know, can't say I expected the final fight to be against a ton of robots, but this works out. Are we good? Oh, actually killing this thing disabled everything else. Wow. Maybe I should just focus on that. I think that probably was a better idea. Okay, we did it. We did it. We fought the big old boss. That really wasn't that big, and really not all that exciting. We didn't even have dramatic music. Maybe we had dramatic music, but it wasn't as, it wasn't like as uplifting as I would have hoped. Did you just interrupt his monologue? Excuse me? It just fucking zapped him. Hold on.
Heading back. Heading out.
All right, get on with it.
After all, why must I always do everything myself?
I'm sad we can't have the, a good talking to, Chairman. Anyways, now you can fuck him up, Parvati.
No hard feelings, okay?
All right, an ornate master key for the labyrinth. It likely opens the prison cell at the very top of the facility. You have to wonder what else it opens. Hi, Phineas. You're gonna be okay. I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna get you out of there. Oh.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Well, I wouldn't let anything happen to you, Phineas.
I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
What do you mean? Things already sounded pretty terrible. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing.
Oh, no.
2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Is it the aliens?
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option.
Oh, boy.
We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
I feel like I'm pretty worried about that. I feel like I'm more worried about what's happened to Earth than what's happening to Halcyon, right? Halcyon's like, shitty situation. Losing Earth, that would have to be like fucking alien invasion level shit, or like civil war or something crazy happening over there. And I'm interested to see what that is, even if we're not gonna find out in this game. Anyways, let me ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
Yeah, that does sound pretty fucking bad. Okay. You mentioned a frigate disappearing.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
I am so intrigued, and we're not going to get an answer about it. God damn it. Look, there's something else. I know about the other colonists, Phineas. I mean, I figured that was obvious.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
If it makes you feel any better, I've known like the entire time ever since we came to your secret base and I hacked in your terminal right in front of your face. So, yeah, I forgive you, Phineas.
Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I think that's about it, actually. Let's get to work.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
And this is where we give him a big no. No, all right. Somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left. No, we don't have that big of a head. You can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support.
Whew.
We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free.
It was like inflating my ego for a second there.
Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
It's kind of cool. I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists: engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever.
It's a conspiracy.
Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together.
The aliens got her.
Desert replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer.
What about Reed and the other people, though?
As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater.
No!
Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat.
It even lasted a
Under the
week.
leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Oh, no.
It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal.
Oh, she didn't say to our crew?
Life in
What happened to
Halcyon
me?
was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace.
Well, that's good. I'm happy about that.
Once the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon?
No, because I never used that robot. Fuck the robot.
Released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope.
Nice.
Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony.
God damn! You made a good choice.
Laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor.
Aww.
He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you.
They should have ended with a shot of me. That would have been great.
What happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
And that's it? We're done? Oh, I was hoping that we get a little bit more restore, a little bit more of a tease about what could be coming next, but okay. That is the Outer Worlds, I guess. The ending kind of came up real fast. I didn't even expect to be beating it today, but we're here. Things, there's a lot to say about the game. There's so much to it that they do good. They do really well in a lot of areas, but it's this weird feeling because I really like this game, but I kind of walk away from the feeling that this wasn't great, and it could have been greater. And so I'm hopeful because this is a great start for a new IP, for a new series, and a lot of like my issues are things that can be fixed over time. You know, it's my because everything, obviously, dialogue in this game, great. The overall RPG system, great. The story of this game, great. The only things I didn't really like about the game was the combat was a little bit lacking. Customization was really lacking. Obviously, what's the point of customizing your character and even caring about it when you can't even do third-person view? I really wanted more depth behind a lot of the systems. Capping out at level 30s, kind of meh. And overall, a lot of the game takes place in open world. A lot of Monarch takes place in the open world. A lot of Emerald Vale takes place in open world a little bit, and it's empty. It feels really empty. There are a couple of instances where you have some NPCs walking around, and then they find another NPC, but otherwise, besides that, it's basically just enemy group, enemy group, enemy group, enemy group. And it would have been a lot nicer if there were a lot more interactions in between. You know, a lot more running into small groups, small side quests spread throughout the entire place. You run into a random person who's stuck stuck next to a nest of manta queens, and you run into a lot of like little instances of that, but it could have been more. And I think that with this, again, this is a great start for a new series, and I'm excited to see what they can do with, a bigger game, a bigger budget, because I did remember before playing this game, reading articles from them saying that they wanted to start small and then maybe get bigger if they were to ever continue on with sequels. And so this was their small attempt. And honestly, again, this is good. This is good. A lot of parts are great. Sullied a little bit by just some of the things going forward, like a little bit short. Again, combat could have been better. I wish that we had had another tier of enemies that we could have been fighting, because it just kind of like evened out for the last 10 to 15 hours of the game. Things were super easy. I died only one time, and that was at that boss fight, and that was only because I let the robots rush me. I mean, I guess I did a couple other times, but those were also like things where I'm like, I didn't want to survive in that situation. I wanted to reload anyways. But yeah, I wish there was more in just the tiniest ways. Better being able to customize weapons more, being able to have cooler stats on those weapons, things that make me go, oh shit, I need to really think about what I'm doing here. You could pretty much just slap caustic mods on all your guns and just kill everything easily. There wasn't really that much depth once you began to be able to have that option. And I hope that in the future that changes. Keep all the amazing shit from this game, obviously have a cooler story. And let me super customize my character to more of an extent, because that'd be nice. But that's the other world. I'm gonna see if there is... Nope, there's no after credits. Darn. I want to see if there's an after credits, like a tease of what they might be thinking of, because the way they ended that there was very much like, okay, yeah, you wrapped up everything going on in the Halcyon colony, and the only real sequel bait there is obviously you could potentially go back to Halcyon colony. There are other colonies in the lore to go for, and then there's also something happened to Earth. And apparently generations passed by, decades passed by with nobody ever finding out what happened to Earth in the Halcyon colony. So that's a big deal. Like, what the hell happened there? Did someone cut off the communications? Did they get attacked? Did they just fall apart due to like corporate greed? We don't fully know. So things are really open in that regards. But yeah, I had fun. I really enjoyed this. I was looking forward to the game, and while it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, I would gladly play another Outer Worlds game, or the whole rest of whatever they end up planning out. This was a pretty good entry in of itself. But thank you guys for watching this Let's Play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.